Hello, calculus students. This is one of my favorite activities to do with you guys after spring break, but we're just going to have to do this remotely here. So for the first example, candy volume, number 1, you're given y equals the square root of sine x from 0 to pi about the x-axis. So it means it wants you to take this graph and rotate it about the x-axis. So it's been a while since we've done volume. If you have trouble, you can always plug into your graphing calculator. Be sure that you are always in radians. And then anytime you're graphing something with trig, you can always press zoom 7, and that will give you a better view of anything that has a trig function in it. So we're just going from 0 to pi. There's my graph. I'm going to take this shape, rotate it about the x-axis. If I did rotate that, it would become a three-dimensional shape. And in class, I have you guys guess what this shape might be. And lots of people say football. And I try to get people to say more, and they're like, oh, it's an egg. And I'm like, ooh, very good. So then, remember, if we're going to find volume, volume equals the integral of area. And this is with respect to x. And we're going to go from 0 to pi. And the area is going to be the formula, the shape of whatever my cross-section is. So if I took this egg and I sliced it through here, or anywhere along there, and I opened it up, I would have a circular cross-section. Plus, when it says you're rotating it about the x-axis, you're going 360 degrees, which is a full circle. So remember, volume turns into this. Well, actually, it's pi r squared, but we pull the pi out front since it's a constant. And I'm still going from 0 to pi. 0 to pi because of, they told me, my bounds. So then, if I figure out what my radius is, it's going to be quantity squared, whatever that is. So to figure out my radius, no matter where I draw that vertical line, my radius is the top function minus the bottom function. So the top function comes from square root of sine x, and my bottom function is 0. So it's square root of sine x minus 0. That would be my radius. You could, from here, use Math 9. I'm totally fine with that. If you ever get any wrong answers, it's probably because you forgot to multiply by pi, or maybe you forgot to square your radius. You can do Math 9, but for those of you taking the AP exam, I guess Math 9 would be faster. Typically, there's a no calculator section, but this year it's all calculator permitted. So if I were doing this by hand, I could. And then the antiderivative of sine, that would be negative cosine. Just in case we forgot how to show all of our work, I thought I'd work this one out by hand. But remember, you guys can stop right here and just put the decimal answer over here, and that's good enough for me. Plus, I like the students to figure out what this is, and they guess, oh, it's an Easter egg. And then I go around and give everybody a chocolate egg. Sorry, they're all locked up in my classroom. I don't even get to enjoy them. So if I plug this in, this will be negative cosine of pi minus negative cosine of 0. And then I probably have too many parentheses there. So cosine of pi is negative 1, so that ends up being positive 1 there. This would be minus a negative 1. So you end up with 2 pi. 2 pi is your answer, so if you did a decimal, you would get 6.283. Because remember, we go out to 3 decimal places. There you guys go. Hopefully this will help you with the other questions. If not, you can look at the answer key.